Greetings, 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 greetings. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Osiyo, Halito, Mabrikwa, Sakpase, Wagwan, Shalom, Hola. What it is, what it is, what it is, family. I'm going to give you guys some time to get into this live build. Let me see. All right, let me just put that in here just to make sure I can see the chat. Boom. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? What's up? I'm on Rob. What it is, man. I got you. I turned my ring off. I just realized you text me, so I'm gonna hit you up. Once I'm done. I gotta call one of my elders. So once I'm done with that, we're gonna build. You feel me? But just want to go. Let's talk about a few things, man. Do me a favor. Go ahead and share that information. Share that information. Share the information, man. Go ahead and hit the share button. All right. Give some people some time to get on while I'm doing that. First off, let me just give thanks as usual. Give thanks to the Great Spirit, Mother God, for a beautiful continuation of life. I make an attempt to kind of like keep things in perspective. When I talk to people, of course, I speak of Monday, Tuesday, and tomorrow of those things. But for me, when I'm manifesting things, my reality, I just say the continuation of life. Because to me, there's no break in between. There's no Monday, Sunday. Every day, once the sun is out, every day is Sunday to me. You feel me? So I just like to say the continuation of life. You feel me? But thank you to my ancestors, because they are truly the umbilical cord, for me, at least for me, when I correspond or I make contact, with the source. All right. So give thanks to my guardian angels, and of course, give thanks to you, my brothers and sisters, and everybody else. All right. So let's do this. Today's build, I'm going to talk about, the higher, the lower self, because I did post, I did post something about speaking about the Christ, so to speak. And I know a lot of our people are stuck with dogma and religion. And sometimes it don't matter what you do. A lot of people are not going to get it. That's just what it is. All right. Not everybody was meant to be awakened in this time. When I say this time, I'm talking about in your generation, my generation, and a few generations to come. However, they will eventually get it. All right. They will eventually get it, because what it is, we are in a big cycle. All right. A big cycle. Like our life is like a hamster in a hamster's wheel. All right. We keep going and going and going and going, thinking we are actually going somewhere, but we are not. You see what I'm saying? Because in the true reality of things, there's no yesterday, there's no today, and there's no tomorrow. All right. All there is just the now, the present. That's all it is. However, we are living in a dimension where time is slowed down so much. All right. Hence, time was created. All right. So time is a physical thing. But when it comes to the mental realm, or what we call the spiritual realm, there's no time. There's only the now. All right. So I'm just going to break down a few things so that people who are seeking information, people who are still stuck, stuck between, well, I have one foot in religion, I have one foot out. What exactly is spirituality? People who have those kind of questions, hopefully after I do this build, we'll be able to address some of those concerns or questions. All right. I know a lot of people speak of division. When I put my post on Facebook, yes, the posts, they are provocative. I know that. And that's done intentionally. All right. But my intent is not to promote any type of hate. That's not what it is. All right. It's the post to get people to think. Start asking questions. All right. Question everything. Because the truth of the matter is, everything we were taught has some lie in there. Okay. Believe. Look at the word believe or belief. Okay. Bring the words up. You have belief, belief or believe, right? B-E, separate that. B, you are in the being, the current, right? The present is to be, right? And then you have the lie, L-I-E. There is always a lie. in every truth that they're telling. Vice versa. There's always some truth in every lie that they tell. That's just what it is. Okay? Now, so just to let y'all know, I'm not here causing any division, because division is inevitable. That's what people don't get. You know? So when people come at me from that standpoint, it just makes me realize that they only dwell in the flesh. They don't truly know who they are. Because if you are truly ascended, or you have ascended into a certain mindset, all right, of what we call consciousness, then you'll realize that division is imminent. You feel me? It's imminent, because you have to divide in order to get to multiply. You have to subtract in order to add. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Now, with us coming from the source, and pay attention to what I'm saying, right? From the very beginning, there was division. Why do you think you're called individuals? So when I tell people stop, the post that I do, I'm not saying that you can't respond, but don't get into your emotions, family. It is just to make you think and question things. That's all it is. Because from the inception of us manifesting here in the flesh, there was already division. Hence, we are called individuals. We are divided from the all. So how are you going to tell me stop spreading division? No, I'm not. Okay? I'm actually bringing things back to what it needs to be. But first, we have to get rid of the chaos. All right? We have to dissect everything and get the truth from what we are being told. And that's just the bottom line. Once again, division is imminent. When your mother is pregnant and you are cut from the umbilical cord, that's a division. They divided you from your mother. So division is just part of life. The question is, after you have done your division, are you able to add? After you have done the subtraction, are you able to add and now multiply? That's what it's all about. And that's what I'm all about. Okay? Dissecting the truth so that we are able to understand each other, regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our walk in life. There is a truth, but everybody thinks they have the truth. And me personally, I can't tell you I have the truth. However, I'm going to keep seeking the truth. I'm not just going to allow anybody or any group or any organization or any institution to just tell me this is what it is. And I'm just going to believe it. I'm not going to do that. So if you think that's causing division, by all means, yes, I am creating and causing division from that perspective. You feel me? Because I'm going to question everything. Because a lot of lies have been told, misinformation. And we know it's all around us. All you have to do is just open your eyes and see. Okay? So let us talk a little bit about, and for one, we're going to talk about a couple of things. But let's talk about the names, right? The names of what we call the Great Spirit. Whether you call it the Great Spirit, whether you call it the universal source, whether you call it God, man, listen, it doesn't even matter what you call that entity, right? They're just names. They are just names. Now, I am going to quote a little bit of the allegorical Bible, all right? And when I say allegorical Bible, what I mean by that is, first you have to know what allegory means. Allegory means not to be taken literally, all right? So when they tell you the Bible is all allegory, it means that it wasn't meant for you to be taken, for it to be taken literally. Now, how can I prove my point? Because a lot of people may say, well, Chief, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, let's go into Galatians, and I'm going to bring that up for you guys. Give me a second here, okay? And some of the stuff is just going to flow off my head, else I would have had it already prepared, so just bear with me, okay? Let me find that. Give me a second. And I'll also put it in the chat for you guys, all right? So we're going to talk about Galatians 4:24. For those of you who feel like, you know, you want to pull up your Bible, but I know it's not Sunday, and I'm not passing a collection plate, so it's all good, all right? This is the free church, so, you know, so to speak. So But of course, if you feel like supporting, by all means, do that, all right? It is not mandatory, okay? I'm not going to ask the congregation to buy me a jet or a Bentley, all right? I'm not going to do that. But hey, if you want to offer it, by all means, okay? Anyway, I'm just playing. So I'm going to Galatians, and we're looking at the King James Version, and we're looking at Galatians 4:24. So I'm going to take this entire passage here, or paragraph, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to put it in the link. And we're going to read it, just to let you know that it wasn't meant to be taken literally, okay? We have the King James Version, and that's Galatians 4:24. I've just put that in the post. It says what? Which things are an allegory? An allegory. I'm also going to put in there for you guys the definition. Well, you know what? Let me just highlight this so you know what verse that is, okay? So that when people go ahead and look up that information, they could know exactly what I'm talking about. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, please. All right, so let me just put that here. All right, Galatians 4:24. There we go. All right, so that's in there. Now we're going to look at the definition. I know Aman Ra always assists me with that, so maybe I might get him to look for definitions and just put it in the chat while we're doing that. But anyway, what I was looking for. Oh yeah, definition of allegory. Allegory definition right here. Okay, a story. In fact, let me just take it and I'm going to put it in the chat. That will save me some time. Here we go. Enter. All right, so here we go. Allegory. Let's read. An allegory, a story, poem, or a picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or a political one. When it comes to the Bible, we're dealing with morality. Okay, so the allegories are being told from a moral standpoint. All right, now within this realm where we are at right now, okay, it's a political standpoint. All right, so allegories could be either or, but in the Bible's sake, it's dealing with morality. So let's read Galatians 4:24. It says, which things are an allegory? For these are the two covenants. A covenant is basically a treaty, all right? A contract, so to speak, right? The one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, was Agar. So if Agar was an allegory, what they're telling you that it wasn't a real story. It symbolizes something, okay? So that's why the allegorical, again, yes, Abraham was an allegory. That's why the allegorical Jesus spoke in parables. All right? And you have ministers and pastors and, you know, all these institutions making you think that Jesus was a real man. Okay? So this is pretty much what I'm going to break down today. Now, a lot of things are speculations. Because for one, how could the universal source, that's what we're going to use, all right? It's safe to use that. How can the universal source come down and speak to somebody when the universal source doesn't talk? Now, some people may say, well, ho, Chief, what are you talking about? Let me break this down for y'all, okay? Let me break it down for y'all. I know a lot of y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to break that down, right? The universal source doesn't talk. However, the ability to talk is one of the characters of the universal source. What I mean by this is the universal source is pretty much where everything exists and everything comes from, that intelligence. The universal source is just intelligence. And the only way for the universal source to make any sense of anything, the universal source had to learn to create. Okay? The universal source had to learn to create. All right? So with that being said, we're going to talk about the spirit, so to speak. When the spirit moved, like the spirit realized that it could move. and it had to learn to create. So it created an entity or entities, right, that could experience things. And the source could only feel the emotion of those things. Hence, what you call God, okay, or the universal source is not a man, it's not a woman. However, within that source, the masculine and the feminine energy exists. Now, I'm not saying it's a man or a woman. No, it's just that energy exists in there. All right. And from that, okay, things are created. Let me see if I can give another example. All right. Let me see if I could use this here. Okay, cool. I have this container here, right? I mean, you know, that wasn't part of the plan, but anyway, I have this container here, right? Let's say this is the source. Everything is in the source. Everything is in the source. Just think about it. Everything is in the source, right? In order for there to any type of creation, everything has to come from here. So there's nothing outside the all. This is all in the all. All right. But within this source, you are able to create from that source. You feel me? So at the end of the day, we as individuals, we come from here. But this source, this don't talk. I hope this makes sense. This don't talk. However, the ability to talk, characteristics that came from that allow us to talk. All right. So the first so-called creations from that source is the bridge. Okay. The original umbilical cord to the source is the first creation. Hence, you go to Genesis, the first chapter. All right. Let us create man in our own likeness and image. Okay. Now, the image they are talking about at that time, it is not a physical image. It is not matter, meaning that it is not flesh and blood. It is a prototype, a concept, a blueprint. That's what it was. And within that blueprint, you're able to create man and woman, male and female. So I hope that makes sense. I know sometimes it may get a little bit confusing, but if anybody needs any clarification on that, please, by all means, tell me you didn't get it, and I'll make an attempt to articulate and break it down a little more. But the point I'm trying to make is the source itself. So when you say you're praying, well, I don't use that word personally, but I'm going to use it just for conversation's sake, right? When you say you're praying, what exactly and who exactly are you praying to? Because if you're praying to the source, you see what I'm saying? The source doesn't feel or hear what you're saying. It's literally the people who came before you that's able to feel that vibration and feel that frequency. And through them, all right, that energy or whatever it is felt in the all. I hope that makes sense. So when you are praying, really, you're praying to your ancestors. Everybody who came before you, that's what you're praying to. But they don't want people to know these things because they are the ones who came before us. They are the bridge. But they tell you that in the Bible, don't get me wrong. They tell you that in the Bible, the only difference is they took one man, one personage. In other words, they took all our ancestors and put our ancestors in one entity called Jesus or Yeshua. I hope that makes sense. But for me, I don't subscribe to that because Jesus is not my ancestor. You feel me? Jesus is not my ancestor. I am not a bloodline of Jesus. So I have to talk directly to my ancestors because they are the connection. They are the spiritual umbilical cord from whence we came, which is the source. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot go to the source yourself. Of course, because you are part of the source. I showed y'all an example before with the water. If you're in a body of ocean of water and you took a glass of water, it's the same water, it's the same thing. However, because our ancestors, they have walked the walk, all right? Why not pick up the phone and call your ancestors? Because the source cannot talk. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when they tell you, Jesus said no one could come to the Father but by me, it's actually true but not true. All right. Now you may say, well, Chief, man, you sound contradicting. No, let me tell you exactly what I mean. They are telling the truth because Jesus represents everybody who came before you that was in the flesh. Okay. So that's what they're talking about. However, when it comes to dealing with your higher self, all right, that's what they're talking about. To go to the Father, of course they say Father, but we know it's spiritual parents. Because so as above, so is below. How can you prove that again? Well, let us look at the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So as above, so is below. So everything is literally in plain sight. However, it's not being interpreted in the context it was written. And that's why ministers and pastors and whoever, they are misleading the people. That's why they call them sheep. Because they don't want them to know the truth. You feel me? They don't want them to know the truth. So let us go back to the whole concept of Jesus. I tell people, don't focus on the messenger, but did you get the message? Okay? Because at the age of 5, all right? At the age of 5, I never felt like connected to this whole Jesus character. All right, at the age of 5. And I always had questions, but nobody seemed to be able to answer my question. Nobody. Oh, well, that's what the Bible says. Well, who wrote the Bible? You feel me? Now you telling me the men who wrote the Bible, now mind you, it's just men. So you're trying to tell me women have nothing to do at all. They had no say in this whatsoever. Just men. The only person God could talk to at that time was just men. You see why I don't subscribe to this? All right? I don't subscribe to that. The truth of the matter is women have more of an intuition than we men because they have a greater connection to Mother Earth than anybody else. The first universe was the womb. Okay? The uterus is also an extension of the womb, of the universe. So the woman has more, that's why it's called female intuition, because she has a connection to Mother Earth that we men don't have. We have it, but it's not so heightened. We do have intuition, but the women's intuition is more of an oracle, okay? More of an oracle standpoint, right? They have that connection. Women are better seers than men. And I'm not guessing that. That has been proven in pretty much almost every culture. All right? The women are the seers. The women are the oracles. So how is that you wrote an entire Bible, and as a matter of fact, in the beginning of the Bible, you bashing women? Right from the inception, you talking about the Trinity is Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and you made the ghost a man. Come on. And you wonder why we live in with, we in Sodom and Gomorrah right now. Because that's what they're preaching. That's what they're teaching. But the Trinity is actually the mother, father, and child. It is not the father, mother, and child. No, it's the mother, father, and child. Because the father came from the mother. Every man got a belly button. Every man got a belly button. Even when they showed Jesus, Jesus had a belly button. So how are you going to tell me there's only a father, but yet still the mother is taken out of the equation? That's a disrespect. It's like me right now honoring my father, rest in power, Dad, and forgetting my mom. What type of disrespectful? Man, listen, that's disrespectful. So at the end of the day, pay attention, because everybody's so programmed. Everybody speak about God. Well, he. Who tell you God is a he? Huh? Who told you it was a he? That's what they taught you. All right, but that's not true. Because the man came from the woman. It wasn't the other way around. But I know what they did, though, because I already broke that down before. If y'all want me to break it down again, I'll break it down. All right? So when we speak about Jesus, all right, that came, we have to look at ages, okay? Well, you also have the story of Lilith as well. You see what I'm saying? All right? So Lilith was also there as well, whether it was Lilith and Eve and Adam, it was all three of them, either way, right? That had to be there because once again, 3 is always the Trinity. All right? It's always the Trinity. All right? So here we go. When we speak of the story of Jesus, okay, it is not the messenger we should be focused on, because Jesus never said he was the Christ. Okay, as a matter of fact, Jesus said that many will come in my name and tell you that I am Christ. As a matter of fact, let me look that up for y'all, and I'm going to put it in the description. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. I think that's Matthew 24:5. All right. Let me pull that up for you. Because a lot of people are stuck, man, in religion, man, and they can't let it go. It's not that they can't, they just don't want to let it go because they were taught, you know, fear. If you question Jesus, you're going to hell. If you question the Bible, you're going to hell. Where's the hell at? Man, we're living in hell right now. Okay, let me see if I can pull that up. For many, give me a second, guys. Let me pull that up for you. All right, let me look at the King James Version. All right, seeing that King James was a melanated man. It was, which one was that? 24. Jesus incident said to them, take heed. All right, give me a second here, guys. So many come in my saying, all right, there we go. All right. And it says, and it also says false Christ. Okay. So here we go. Boom. Right in the King James Version, it says false Christ. Let's put that in there. Okay. Now let's read. Once again, we got to read with understanding. All right. And overstanding and not understanding. Okay. We have false Christ. We have Genesis 24. I want to make sure I get that verse so that people will get that. 24 verse 5. So it's chapter 24 verse 5. Let me just update that for you guys. Bear with me here, guys. All that stuff I'm just flowing from the top of my head, so you know I really didn't plan on going all the but I'm just flowing right now, so whatever comes. All right, so there's no particular order. All right, so check this out. Matthew 24:5. And Jesus said what? For many shall come in my name, meaning that my name is Jesus, right? Saying I am Christ. And he says what? And shall deceive many. So what is Jesus saying? Jesus is saying that I am not Christ. Okay, I am not Christ. Because first, he had to be baptized. So when I say, and baptism is an internal thing. Baptism is not an external thing. Okay? When the true esoterics had that knowledge, they knew exactly what it meant. That's why you have all these secret societies. All right? Because the people just couldn't get the concept that they were gods. They just couldn't get the concept. So they were always looking for a savior. So when the people realized that, they say, hold up, we got the knowledge, they can't get it. So because we've been hiding it from them, these people couldn't read. Okay, they couldn't read, they couldn't write. So there was an esoteric group of people that held on to the knowledge. But when the people, the masses, they were seeking knowledge and they were getting violent, they say, okay, you know what, man, listen, y'all want gods? We're going to create a God for you. And that's how the concepts of God started being created outside of the teachings that you are the God. Okay? But they had to put the truth. But they did it in allegorical form, satire. All right? That's a certain style of writing. But the common folk, okay, the laymen couldn't get it. So they started worshiping Jesus. When Jesus clearly said, don't worship me. So tell me what the majority of our people in all these churches, tell me what they are doing. What do these pastors have them doing? You got women in love with Jesus and they got husbands. You got men in love with Jesus and they got their wives. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all already know what it is. Every time that that truth is being put out there, man, and you know, I tell you, man, you feel me? Then all of a sudden they messing with it, but it's all right though. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. All right, so we just started that back. Part 2, we're gonna continue with that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take both of these videos and I'm gonna put it into one, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. You know what I mean? But they can't stop it, man. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. What it is, what it is, what it is. All right. So go ahead, fam. Go ahead. Share the information. All right. Go ahead and share the feed. Share the feed. Don't worry about that. They can't stop it. And then I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna break down all of this for you. When they talk about Jesus was raising people from the dead, I'm gonna break all that down. All right. Which I've mentioned that in videos before, but I'm gonna break it down for y'all. All right. So with that being said, let us proceed. Right. All the people, they'll catch up when they can. You feel me? Okay. So I was talking about the whole concept of Jesus, right? So with that being said, that's what Jesus actually means. And just to pick up from where we left off, okay, we all have those 12 faculties in us. All right. How is that every time when we go to school and when you're reading, your teachers always tell you what? If you don't know the meaning of a word, you go get a dictionary. How many people are being taught in churches with a Bible dictionary? Do you know there is such a thing? There is. How do you think I'm able to break down all of this and articulate it? Because when I was reading the Bible, I read the Bible with a Bible dictionary. Okay? But these pastors don't do that. All right? They don't do that. They tell you what it means, but they don't want you to really know what it means. They give you the perception of what they would program to tell you. But no pastor is going to tell you that you are God. And I'm using that word very lightly here now. Okay? No pastor is going to tell you that. Because it's a business, it's a hustle. All right? It's a hustle. So with that being said, that is the whole concept of Jesus being in the flesh. So everything is allegory. Okay? Everything is allegory. You feel me? Jesus being born in a manger, I already broke that down. Okay? Jesus being crucified, that is part of the story as well. Him carrying the cross is the same thing. How many of y'all, okay, and I'm going to ask the question, pardon me, and I'm certainly sure a lot of y'all could relate. How many of y'all on your journey, all right, you feel like there is something wrong? There's something wrong. That there are lies. And you feel like, what? You're stepping into a higher consciousness. But the moment you start doing that and you start making that transition, all of a sudden, everything in your life becomes chaotic. I'm going to wait for a few responses. For those of you who have experienced that, let me get a thumbs up on that. Okay? For those of you who have actually experienced that, when you made up your mind to step into a higher frequency, okay, all of a sudden, everything in your life became chaotic. All right? You pretty much got to a point where you almost lost everything if you didn't lose everything. All right? That is what's supposed to happen, family. Okay? That is what's supposed to happen. You dig? It is not because the universal spirit or the source got something against you. Okay? It is not because the devil got something against you. No, that is part of your journey. It's inevitable. It has to happen. Okay? Because you're stepping into a higher consciousness. And you have to go through the same journey that the allegorical Jesus went through. You have to carry your cross. Carrying your cross symbolizes all the obstacles that you have to go through in life. And yes, some people have to reach out and help you carry your cross. All right? Still, why the people you're trying to save, they beating you down. But you have to take back that cross. Now, it's mine. And you have to keep asking, again, God, all right? Asking God, why me? Why me? Why is these things happening to me? You feel me? I cannot take this burden no more. But you have to know within yourself, you have to walk that path. You have to carry that cross, okay? And when you get to the mount, okay, you have to put your own cross up. You have to put it up. You are responsible for that, all right? And then they're going to hang you on that cross. And when I say they, I'm talking about your burdens, those obstacles, those chaotic situations. It's going to put you on the cross, all right? It's going to put you on the cross. There you go, Latinka. It's all a test. That's what it is. Even when the allegorical Jesus, let me digress a little bit. Even when the allegorical Jesus went on that mount and the serpent or Satan, so to speak, again, that's allegory, right? Came and said, listen, man, I could give you all of this. All you have to do is jump. Prove to me that you're the Son of God. And Jesus said, what? Get thou behind me, Satan. Jesus was talking to himself in his mind. Okay? It wasn't no damn real snake. For those of you walking around here thinking a snake could talk, man, listen, these pastors deserve to take your money. Let me tell you something. If I could convince people that a snake could talk, yo, I'm opening up a church next week. Who want to go into, listen, man, if y'all want to go into business with me, okay, let's open up a church. Anybody that want to be a business partner, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, because if we could convince people that the snake could talk, man, we good. The only thing is we ain't got to give Rome a piece of our money, all right? We're going to open up another church. The point I'm trying to make is this, putting all jokes aside, right? This is all allegory, right? So let's go back to the cross, all right? Let's go back to the cross. Once you have gone through all that, okay, and you're put up on that cross, arms open wide, okay, beaten to death, practically, and you've gotten to the point where they beat you so much, you have given up every single breath in your body. Then finally, just to make sure that you died, okay, just to make sure that that last breath went out of your body, they take a spear and they shove it through your side, okay? That is just all the obstacles in life putting you down and crucifying you. Once that is done, to add salt to injury, they're going to take vinegar and put it in your side. So what you do, so let me tell y'all something. Y'all think y'all really went through things? No. Until you have lost everything. I'm telling you, every man and woman has to walk the walk of Jesus. And I'm talking about the allegorical Jesus. Because I don't want no videos on the internet to go, oh, well, she's teaching about Jesus. Okay? So each and every one of us have to walk that walk. And every one of us have to be crucified. Each and every one of us have to lose everything. I promise you, until you have done that, okay, you will not ascend into the Christ. And that's facts. Nobody could escape that. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. So if you are not going through it this time around, you will reincarnate and come back and go through that. You have to go through the persecution. You have to. Okay? So once they take the vinegar and they put it in your side and they think that you are gone, you died. Okay? Now that you have done that, you have paid the price. Okay? You sacrificed your own life, became the lamb, so to speak. In 3 days, you ascend as the Christ. End of story. It's that simple. The anointed one. The light is going to shine down on you, and the great spirit, the light, is going to look down and say, this is my son, this is my daughter, in whom I'm well pleased. Brothers and sisters, end of story. It's that simple. Okay? It's that simple. Now, why can't these pastors tell the people the truth? Why is that? You know? Because they were told not to. All right? It's that simple, man. It's that simple. Okay? He says, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I have a church, I have a free church actually, I just gotta, set up, everything's already set up, because this is all part of the church anyway, what I mean? So it's definitely, Osio, brother. All right. So this is part, we have our own ministry called, the United Anion We Empowerment Ministry. So this is, I am the minister for the church. So I'm bringing the real truth to the people, and it's a free church. So they cannot tell me what to talk about in my church. It's that simple. All right. So just know that the whole story of Jesus and the Christ, because it's two separate entities, is that this is your life story. Okay. You, the physical man in your lower self, you, the physical woman in your lower self, you have to go through that journey. And when you're ready to let go all of the carnalistic things, all right, all of the temptations, all of the materialistic things, when you are not allowing your lower self to control your higher self, then you become the Christ. All right. And that's what it is, the anointed one. So now you're doing the work that you're serving your purpose, raising people from the dead. And that's what I'm doing. It's the same thing that Jesus did. Okay. When they say raising people from the dead, they're talking about the spiritual dead. Jesus didn't raise no people who died and went in the ground and talk about who raised from the dead. No, it wasn't that. They're talking about a spiritual death. Okay, meaning that these people didn't know who they were, and he made them aware. He enlightened them. Okay, so pretty much this is that's what it's about. So don't get caught up with the whole heaven and hell thing, because it's all right here. We are dealing with hell right now. And heaven is not going to start manifesting until the age of Capricorn, which I've already told y'all about that before. All right. And every age, like I told y'all before, every age is about 25 point something, almost 26,000 years. So your people have enough time to wake up. And they tell us, well, the age of, Aquarius started in 2012. No, it started as soon as Jesus died and became the Christ. That's when the age of Aquarius started. So it started over 2,000 years ago. So many of you have already reincarnated since Jesus died. That's why you are where you are at today, right now on this feed. Because if you were still vibrating in your lower chakra, that message would never come across to you, because you are not ready to receive that. You're not ready for that journey. So many of you are literally ascending into the Christ consciousness. And that's what it's all about. So we have another 22 and a half thousand years to go, where everybody is going to reincarnate until they get it. And once they have gotten it, all the survivors in the Aquarius age, okay, will create the heaven on earth in the Capricorn age. All that stuff is real, man. So I tell people, don't think I'm spreading division. No. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. All right? Even when you go look for diamonds, you just don't pick up diamonds. No. You have to ruffle the diamonds from the dirt and the gravel. You have to separate them in order to pull the diamonds out. That's what I'm doing. Because you see, there's a lot of lies, deceptions. All right? Deceitful information. So now I'm putting provocative information out there so that people could start telling the truth. Because we need to know who's who. We need to know who the real ones are. We have to. Or else we will repeat the same thing over and over and over again. All right? But in your personal journey, just know that whatever you're going through, it was meant for you to, it was meant to happen. That is your path. Once again, there is no such thing as good or bad. I keep telling people that. Because there's no good things or bad things in nature. All right? It's either ripe or green. If something is green, it is not ready for the picking. If it's ripe, then you don't have to do too much work. All you have to do is sit under the tree, and it's going to drop in your lap. It's that simple. Okay? But you have to grow, man. You have to grow. And a lot of people are not going to get that because they're still vibrating in their lower chakras, man. So they're still in their emotions. And that's just all it is. They cannot see things from a deity perspective. And they get mad. They get angry. They think it's personal. But just know that you have your own journey. All right? And nobody could walk that for you. Nobody. I don't care how many people help you. That help is not going to be true help because they cannot be crucified for you. All right? And that's facts. Okay? It's facts. So I don't know if you guys have any questions on that, but I just wanted to break down that whole, because I put a post up earlier talking about Jesus and the Christ. Okay? So when Jesus said, once again, the allegorical Jesus, Yeshua, right? When Yeshua said, my Father and I are one, but yet still my Father is greater than I am. Once again, I've spoken about that. But a lot of people may think it's a contradiction, but it's not. All Yeshua was saying is this: my Father and I are one, but yet still my Father is greater than I am. Meaning that when we are in the mental realm, that heavenly realm, that spiritual realm, okay, we are one. Hence, going back to the source. If you are in the source, you're part of the source, then you are the same as the source. But because Jesus became an individual, divided from the all, that means that the Father is greater than he is in the flesh. Because the flesh has limitations. The flesh is perishable. That's why you are not your flesh. Okay? The flesh is mortal. But you are immortal. Because you are not the flesh. All right? When you look at the game Mortal Kombat, that's what you see getting destroyed and ripped apart. The flesh. Okay? The flesh. But the spirit is immortal. So if the game was called Immortal, I would want to see how that would work. Because the spirit cannot be killed. So the game couldn't be called Immortal Kombat. Now that just came to mind. I don't, I'm just saying. Right? Sometimes I just say some weird things sometimes, but it makes sense in my mind, right? So the moral of the story is this: know thyself. Okay? We were born, all right? And when I say we were born, there's a difference between your birth and your arrival. Okay? What they tell you your birthday is, that's not your birth date. That's your arrival date. Okay? Your birth date is when the sperm meets the egg. That's your birth date. And your arrival date is when you came out from your mom. That's when you arrived. So they tricked you into thinking that's your birthday, but no, they are registering an event. And they gave the event a name, which is the name that you have, and they registered the event. And they took hold and title of the event, and you're walking around thinking it's you. But we're not going to get into that. I've done many videos on that. I'm just giving you an idea of how this transpired. Okay? So that is truly your birthday, when the sperm meet the egg. So the truth of the matter is, the majority of us don't know when our birthday is, unless you was there when mom and dad was doing it. We don't know. However, we do know our arrival. Okay? And even before they cut the umbilical cord, they are supposed to let the baby breathe. Okay? Get used to this new environment. Okay? But they just cut it immediately. No. Because the proper art of breathing, when you breathe, when you take in that prana, all right, you are supposed to breathe. When you inhale, that breath is supposed to go all the way down to your lower chakra and then exhale, all right, because it activates all your chakra, the breath of life. But because they cut our umbilical cord too soon, didn't give us enough time to get used to this atmosphere, all right, that a lot of us, when we breathe only from our throat chakra. So don't get me wrong, me too. But that's why in my meditations, I practice breathing properly. But we have been practicing it for so long that we are breathing incorrectly. All right? So therefore, your chakra is not getting that prana the way it's supposed to get it. You feel me? Okay? Just keep that in mind. So when you breathe, the proper way of breathing, you inhale, and then you imagine that breath going all the way down to your lower chakra, and then you let it back out. And even if you let it out through your nostrils, right, you still have to imagine that breath going through your crown chakra. That is the proper way to breathe, because it has to activate all your chakras. Now, each one of your chakras, there's a color that's associated to each of them. Okay, so when your eyes, okay, the eyes that you see, the visual eye, when you see certain colors, it affects your chakras based on the color that's associated with this chakra. All right, now let me pull up a chat real quick. Like I said, I wish we could have done that where we are able to share screen, but we'll do that soon. I'll make sure that'll work. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in the colors of the chakra, and we're gonna talk about it. Colors of the chakras.
According to color psychology, root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus.
Okay, so we're gonna look up the colors of the chakras. All right. All right, so I'm not gonna look at this one. Give me a second here, guys. Let me pull that up. And all this wasn't part of, you know, the discussion. I'm just going with the flow. So, you know, bear with me here, okay, for a second, okay? So we have the root chakra, right? We have the root chakra, and that the color of that is red, right? So now, oh, come on, man. Hold up. The root chakra is red, right? So when you see a lot red, and also you have the sacral chakra, which is, you know, right around your navel. So you have the root chakra just right above your pelvic area. Then you have the chakra, which is your navel chakra, all right, right around the navel area. Those two colors, the root chakra is red. It's red, all right? That's why you see when they speak of the devil, they tell you what? They always demonstrate the devil with all in red. They're talking about your lower chakra. That's where the devil is manifested, in your lower chakra. So for those of you going around thinking there's a real devil running around with a red jumpsuit, man, listen, once again, chill. Okay, relax. That's not true. It's within you. It's an energy that's within you. So anytime you want to get grimy, and you want to get evil, and you want to hurt people, you have to go deep into your lower chakra to pull that energy out. That's where the devil exists. Okay? So it's red. Your sacral chakra, which is your navel chakra, is orange, so to speak. All right? Now, if you look at commercials, most commercials with foods, they have all their commercials or their symbols, okay, or their logos, they have red and orange in it. Why? Because they're catering to your lower self. Man, can the church say amen? You feel what I'm saying? So everything is symbolic. They're not just doing things just because. No, it is well calculated. That's why you have to know yourself. All right? So your lower chakra is red. Your sacral chakra, which is the navel chakra, is orange. Then you have your solar plexus chakra, which symbolizes the yellow in the sun, because that's also one of the suns in you, solar plex. You have many suns in you, but the bigger ones are your solar plex and your soul, the sole of your feet. That's also a sun. Okay? So you have your solar plex chakra. It's kind of like, it's not low, but it's still within that area. So a lot of commercials as well, you will see a mixture of red, orange, and a little yellow, but more so red and orange. Okay? when they really want to get into your, like I said, into your lower self, all right? So there we go. Now, you have your heart chakra. Your heart chakra deal with the green color, all right? The green color. All right, definitely, Amun Ra, you're absolutely right. All right, I'm going to work on that today. I promised myself I'm going to work on that today. I know I'm talking to my brother who just texted me, but he's actually on the build, right? So you have your heart chakra. It deals with greenery, all right? That's why we as a natured people amongst the trees, our heart chakra was always open because the heart corresponds with green, and we are the children of the wilderness, the solar children, all right? The solar children, the soul people. You feel me? So we were connected through our solar plex, all right? And because of that, so much light in us, all right, our heart opened up, the green. And that's why we are who we are today. We can't help it because we were the children of the wilderness. Our hearts were always open. But because right now of what they have done to us, they got us so low, vibrating in our lower frequency, we have forgotten what it means to love each other again because we don't have enough greenery among us anymore. Okay? The green they give us is artificial, which is money. So our hearts are not opened up to each other no more. They're giving us the foods, the red, the orange, the yellowish, to keep us in our lower chakras. That's why you are what you eat. And people don't see the significance of that. Feeding your children, oh, you run into this. No, no, man. No. You are manifesting demons. And that's a fact. Children that's vibrating in their lower chakras because of what you're feeding them. Not just with the physical food, but also the things that they listen to. All those type of mechanisms is a way of eating as well, because it's all energy. You feel me? So that's very important. Now, the next one, so now you have your heart chakra. That's kind of like the center of it all, the balance, all right? The balance. Now you have the throat chakra. The throat chakra is blue, okay? A lot of people who are not vocalists, meaning that they don't talk a lot, all right? Their throat chakra is closed, all right? So you have that. Then you have your third eye, what they call your third eye. Now many people, and this is facts, I was one of the first people who started changing the I like this, the capital I with the E-I-E-Y-E. I was one of the first ones doing that. Let me tell you why I started doing that. I started doing that because I realized that I started, having a higher comprehension or understanding of certain situations when people could only see those situations vibrating in their lower selves. That was one of the signals to me that I was ascending into a higher consciousness, so to speak. All right. So I know my first, and I call it my first eye, not my third eye, because third deals with the third 3D dimension. So that's not my third eye. I am the first man. So therefore my eye is the first eye. You see, they have to keep you vibrating in your lower frequencies. So even your first eye, they're going to tell you it's your third eye. But I know the spells that are being cast. So I don't speak that. So I speak of it my first eye. So the first eye is kind of like a purplish, you know what I'm saying, color. And then you have the crown chakra, which is the crown of the head. So that's why I tell each and every one of y'all, you are all royalty. Don't let nobody fool you. You're all royalty because we all have a crown. The truth of the matter is you are royalty. However, you have forgotten who you are, so now you're acting like a peasant. It doesn't mean that you don't have the capability of getting back that crown. You do, but you have to put in the work. Okay? You have to earn your crown again. And how do you do that? By your thoughts, the way you think, the things you eat, the people you spend your time with, the type of things you listen to. All that could change who you are and assist you in raising your vibrations and taking yourself to a higher frequency, right? Of course, so now those are just the 7 physical chakras that's connected to the etheric body, the physical body, right? However, you have more chakras, actually, that's more, well, not the, hold on for a second. In the ethers, okay, the ethers is outside of yourself, right? So this is the physical body. Let me just correct myself. So you have the 7 chakras that's within the body. However, you have other chakras that's actually in the ethers, all right? So those are different chakras that's not connected to your physical self, but it's connected to your aura, all right? I hope that makes sense, all right? So I just want to kind of touch on the chakras a little bit. For me, when I meditate, right, for certain things, right, what I used to do was I used to take the colors, right? I used to take colors, whether it may be cloth. I used to take a red piece of cloth, a orange piece of cloth, yellow piece of cloth, green piece of cloth, and a blue and purple and indigo. I would take that and I would put each of them on each one of the chakra that corresponds with the color, and then I would do my meditation, all right? And focus on the color that I want to have some effect or effect on that particular chakra. So those are some of the things that I used to do back in the days, all right? I haven't done that in a while because I'm always on here teaching y'all something, so I really take time for myself, but I need to get back into my meditation heavy again, all right? So I used to do stuff like that, okay? At night, when I used to go lay down, I would take an indigo head. I went to the fabric store, and I would take an indigo piece of cloth and I would tie it around my head. So when I go lay down and I rest, then I would activate my crown chakra. You feel me? Also, I would take a royal purple, all right, piece of cloth, like a headband, and tie it around my forehead, all right? And then when I go lay down at night, it would activate my pineal gland. So I'm just giving you some of the things that I used to do. That's just my journey. I don't know what's going to work for you. I'm telling you what's going to work for what worked for me. I'm just sharing my experiences with you. So with that being said, a lot of times when I have to get downloads, it still happens at this present moment. My pineal gland would pulsate, like literally, okay? I would feel it just, you know when you're doing your tongue like this? That's what my pineal gland would do, okay? And at first, I didn't know what that meant. And it used to get like a little tension, not a headache, but like a tension, all right? And I didn't know how to kind of like respond to that. But then I figured it out one day, that once that started happening, the ancestors or the great spirit or whatever it was, I had to go lay down and just chill, all right? And then things would just come to me. So that was my way of getting the messages, all right? Because I didn't know how, all right? So when I seek and I reach and I'm like, okay, well, I need to know how to receive those messages. Because I used to do a lot of sun gazing, a lot of meditations, man. I used to be going in, like seriously, okay? So where I'm at in my journey right now is not something that I just woke up one day and be like, oh, well, no, I'm enlightened. No, I mean, it was always in me, but I had to walk the walk, all right? I had to practice everything. At one point, like I told y'all, I was practicing telekinesis. I was practicing telepathy. I mean, I was just literally going in and doing a lot of things. Like even right now, okay, I actually help people align their chakras, okay? So, and I do that myself. I check my chakras to see if it's aligned, and if it's not aligned, I align my chakras. You have to know yourself, family. You got to know thyself. You have to. You feel me? You have to know yourself, man. So we got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work to do. You feel me? So I just want to come drop a little bit of information for you guys. I'm not going to go into anything else. All right? I'm just going to stay on topic. All right? We're dealing with who you truly are. Remember, you're not the flesh. And once again, when I don't say prayers, but I say affirmations, right? I do chants. So when I'm chanting, all right, and I'm corresponding with my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? I correspond through them, all right, to get to the source because they have traveled that journey, all right? They have traveled that journey. So don't let anybody fool you and tell you, well, if you're talking to your ancestors, that's demonic or you're a devil. Don't let people fool you with that. Because how can they tell you talking to your ancestors, which you know for a fact that's related to you, is demonic or pagan, but yet still they gave you somebody named Jesus you never met, is not part of your family, okay? And when they first showed you him, he was a pale man, and they're telling you that's who you have to go to the source? Come on. And then they tell you, well, hey, voodoo or voodoo is bad because it deals with blood, but yet still you are supposed to drink the blood of Jesus and eat his body? I mean, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Do you guys know where they got that from? Okay, in certain cultures, all right, our ancestors used to cremate. Okay, some of those who ascended, they would cremate their flesh, all right, and they would take that and they would burn it during ceremonies. Sometimes they would even make tea with the ashes of those who ascended. That's where they got that whole concept from, eating the body and drinking the blood. So there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. But they took that and told us it was pagan and gave you something else. And they're making money from it. It's a business. All right? It's all business. That's what it is. Church is nothing but a big hustle. A bunch of ex-pimps who learned a new pimping game. That's all it is. Okay? That's all it is. So I hope I drop enough information to at least give you guys some information to do some research. Once again, you don't have to believe anything I say. That's not what this is about. I'm just giving you a different perspective in my own understanding of what this is all about and knowing yourself as to who you truly are. A lot of people ask me, well, Chief, well, how do I meditate? I'm having a lot of problem meditating. Well, first off, you have to know what meditation is. Okay? A lot of people think meditation is this big scientific, no, it's simple. Okay, it's very, 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 very simple. First off, you have different forms of meditation. Okay, you have meditation where you could just relax. That's a form of meditation when the mind is just at ease. Then you have other meditations such as visual meditations. All right, when you are visualizing certain things in your life, and you have manifestation meditations. So there, I'm certainly sure there are others, but those are the three that I practice. All right. So relaxation, I'm just chilling, man. I don't have the mind going too wild. The mind is just relaxed. Normally, we all do that when we go what they call sleep. I don't go to sleep. Sleep is too permanent, so I rest. Okay. So when I rest, to me, that is my relaxation meditation. Now, it could be a deep meditation or it could be a light meditation where I'm just relaxing. I'm kind of like in between. All right. But I'm still aware of my thoughts. You feel me? But when I go into deep meditation, when I'm really, really tired, that's a deep meditation. Consciously, I'm not aware of it, but subconsciously, I am still there. So that to me is deep meditation. All right. Or relaxation to a certain extent. It depends on the depth. All right. Or how profound you want that meditation to be. Now, for me, that's relaxation. Then when I have visualizing meditation, for me, that's where I go into seeing different aspects of my life, visualizing things. Like take, for instance, okay, you know what? I want to go to Washington, D.C. next week. So I'm visualizing that. Okay, you know what? I'm meditating. I got to get this car. All right. I want to get that hotel. I want to do this. I want to do that. That's visualizing, seeing it before it actually happens. All right. And then I go into a manifestive meditation where I'm manifesting things. So I'm doing the first two, all right, in the third one to accomplish the reality. What I mean by that is I go into relaxation, I start visualizing, and in my visualization, I am manifesting what I want to become the reality. I hope that makes sense. All right. So you guys could use that. that system or that process, all right, and make it happen, all right. So once again, just wanted to come share some information with you guys. If you think there's anything concerning just that you would like me to talk about, drop it in the chat. I will talk about it. If not, then I'll just conclude. I have 2 of those videos, part 1, part 2. I'm gonna put them together and put it on my YouTube as one video. So I definitely will do that. But I just want to be able to give you guys different perspectives to know what's going on, all right? Because everything around us is an illusion, right? The real truth is you, all right? That is what the truth is. You don't have to go to Hollywood to get a star, okay, on the boardwalk to be a star. No, we all have stardust in us. We are all stars. We came here as stars, all right? Every star that shines in the sky is part of you, is part of me, all right? Everything that's within us is a reflection of, or everything that's outside of us is a reflection of what's within. So for you to change your outward reality, you have to change your inward reality, okay? Because it starts in first, okay? It starts in first before it could go outward. So therefore, a lot of people have sight. They have outsight, but they don't have any insight. You see, you have to learn the difference, okay? Outsight is the physical eye. Insight is your first eye. And unless you have insight, your outside is always going to show you an illusion. It's always going to be an illusion, all right? Always going to be an illusion. And your 5 senses, okay, the 5 senses that you have, it's only a physical thing. We don't have 5 senses on the inside, all right? No. Those 5 senses are necessary to comprehend what's in this physical world, how we react to it. We react to those, to those things through our senses, the physical senses, that is. But within you, there's no such thing as 5 senses. That doesn't exist, all right? Because the reality is already inside of you. However, because it's inward, and we are not, well, most people are not able to see or articulate what's inside. So once it's projected on the outside, you need your 5 senses, okay, to make sense of what's coming from inside of you. That's what those 5 senses are for, all right? And based on that, it affects your emotions, and your emotions affect your circumstances. So it's not really complicated, all right? As long as you know it, it's not complicated. You are able to articulate it, and you're able to live it, all right? So regardless of what's going on around us, just know that you cannot be destroyed, okay? Because the physical flesh, yeah, they could take it anytime, man. It's gonna go anyway. But the real you, they cannot take that away. So stop being afraid. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay. And you know what? Let me take that back. It's okay to be afraid, because it keeps you alert. But don't live your life in fear. You see, there's 2 different things. All right? It's 2 different things. Because sometimes bravery could be stupidity, right? Where you feel like, okay, you know what? You know there's danger there, but because I'm brave, I ain't afraid of nothing, you want to go and hurt yourself. To me, that's stupidity, right? So I'm not saying don't live your life in fear, so to speak, because they cannot do anything to us. All right? We are the Alpha, the Omega, and the beginning and the end. In fact, as a matter of fact, we never had a beginning, so we'll never have an end. We've always been. All right? So if you say what you just mentioned on meditation, say it in reverse, so we see the reverse meditation, they might see clearer. Well, engine, Dutch way, everything that I said, all they have to do is just kind of like visualize that in the reverse. You know what I mean? It's like counting backwards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You just have to reverse that so you're able to articulate things, and you're able to flip it both ways. You know what I mean? You meditate from inside, right? And well, everything is from within anyway. So to me, what so is above, so is below. So once you're able to master what's within, what's outside of you, you absolutely become a master of it. So I don't want to get it. I don't want to complicate things. You feel me? I don't want to complicate it. Let me see what time it is. It stands specifically with the issues. Okay, cool. All right, it's 7. No, actually, it's 5:43. All right. So, brothers and sisters, if there's anything else that you want me to touch, I mean, of course, yes, we are the only ones that exist. I mean, you know, of course. There's nothing else outside of us. I mean, that's facts. You see what I'm saying? It's just us. It's just you. It's just me. And collectively, we are the all. All right? We are just pieces of ourselves walking around. You feel what I'm saying? That's all it is. We are just pieces. We are just wholesome pieces of ourselves walking around. All right? But if we all were to come together, then that would definitely be the all. That's it. It's not complicated. All right? That's all I'm saying. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to give you guys, again, another 60 seconds. If everybody have any questions, okay, or anybody have anything they feel like, you know what, just to, and now, again, within the realm of what we spoke of, if you feel you want some clarification on anything, or you want me to kind of like expound on something, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to see if you guys want to drop that in the chat. Apart from that, man, listen, I'm going to conclude that. I think we had a decent build today. And that's it. You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. So once again, brothers and sisters, everything begins with you. All right? Everything begins with you. That's it. And when I say begin, you never heard me say end, right? Because there's no end. It begins with you. And it only begins when you become aware. Okay? It only begins when you become aware. So what am I saying? It means that there was no beginning and there was no end. Okay? It's only things that was created that had a beginning in the flesh. That's it. So it's never too late to start, to get on the right path of knowing yourself. It's never too late. All right? It's never too late. Just know that. It's just you. It's just me. And we are all that we have. And the number one rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the number one rule. That's it. As long as each and every one of us could comprehend just that alone, man, listen, the world will change. Okay? That's it. Period. So it seems like I did a decent job in articulating myself. So no one have any questions and no one want me to expand on anything. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of the build. I hope you guys have a great continuation. Let's continue to grow. All right? And let's continue to love each other regardless of what. We all may have our own differences, you know what I mean? And that's okay. That's all right. And can we elaborate on understanding how to spell, or on the spells? We reverse the spells, which is repent. Well, here's another thing. I tell people, you know, look at etymology of words. You know, look at etymology of words. You know, for me personally, I mess up the English language as often as I can. Every chance I get, I mess up the English language because I know it's spells that we are casting, right? So I mess up the English language every single time. And people always ask, well, why do you write like this? Well, it's because I don't want to cast these spells. All right? So I continue to do that. So with that being said, learn the etymology of words. Learn the things that you're saying because it becomes your reality. All right? It's that simple. So here we go. All right? So I hope that makes sense. Protect your thoughts, protect your energy. And that's all you got to do. Don't forget, you are what you eat. And eating is not just always physical food, all right? It's all energy. So it could be the music you listen to. It could be the people you hang around. It could be your own thoughts, all right? That's negative. And it becomes you, all right? And keep that in mind. 21 days. Okay, if you practice something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. If you practice it for 99 days, not 99, 90 days, it becomes part of your life. It becomes a lifestyle, okay? Practice something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. Practice for 3 months, 90 days. It becomes a lifestyle, part of your life.